me, the action is the juice.
Welcome to the Regular Mental Podcast, where we discuss Keynote movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Chris.
Hi, folks.
We give our thoughts on the movie, our experience with it growing up, then we discuss specific scenes that we like, followed up with our very own Keynote rating. Today, we're discussing the movie Heat from 1995, starring Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Val Kilmer. Any news? Any news on King?
No news. Yeah, well, now it's just the whole process of, getting things ready to go, getting my house ready to sell. I have to pay $750 to movers to move, which is cheap, actually.
Who are you hiring?
Some dudes out of Jersey. They seem normal.
Jersey.
So, Jersey. Some Jersey boys.
Folks.
So, yeah, that's it.
I got nothing going on. I got nothing going on, bud. I got nothing. Every day I'm just doing like crazy stuff. And I'm just like kind of losing my mind. I don't know. Just constantly.
Quiet on the home front?
Yeah. I just sit in my room and kind of like either try and become a millionaire or just do work on various things, various projects. And then I go to sleep and then I go to work.
How's the AI sphere these days?
The AI sphere is insane. I mean, you can do weird stuff with AI that people don't really know about. Your average person probably uses AI as a search engine. And they type questions in, and it's so much better than that. A little tip for anyone that's trying to use AI and you have no idea what to do with it, how to ask it things, is just ask AI what question to ask for to it. It'll give you a prompt back that is pretty legit. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. So if you're trying to like make some
prompting the prompt.
Exactly. You ask it to give you a prompt and it will give you a good prompt.
For itself.
Mm-hmm. Because the hard part of it is coming up with the right prompt that has the right information in it that gets it to do what you want without going back and forth 100 different times.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you use up all your free trial things for the day. You have to wait a whole day.
Well, I
don't use it enough. So
the usage. If you have a subscription or whatever, like if you're conceivably using your usage up more and more, but there's this thing Claude Design, and if you're trying to make a website, it's kind of cool. Except it's a separate usage category, so it just fills up almost immediately, depending on. I don't know what it's depending on. Honestly, it's just completely arbitrary, but.
So you're Claude maxing. You're not ChatGPT maxing.
Yeah, I'm a Claude Chad. Based on really nothing.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this movie because this is going to be a long one. This is your movie right here, Heat. Tell me about it.
I mean, I like Heat. Heat is a heartwarming story about two devoted professionals who simply love their jobs a little too much. Robert De Niro plays Neil McCauley, a master thief whose entire personality is one rule about walking away from everything in 30 seconds flat, a philosophy he seemingly abandons the moment a woman makes eye contact with him in a bookstore. Al Pacino plays Lieutenant Vincent Hanna, an LAPD detective powered by either cocaine or pure, unfiltered theatrical training, who delivers every line as if trying to wake up someone 3 rooms away. The two eventually sit down for a coffee in what is essentially the world's most expensive networking lunch. Agree they'll have to kill each other, and then go back to work like reasonable colleagues. Along the way, everyone learns the real obstacle to work-life balance is your inability to stop robbing banks.
Very nice. Very nice. Well done. This is a great movie, man. This cast, I didn't realize watching this that this cast was so deep.
Yeah.
I mean, you have De Niro, Pacino, Kilmer, Trejo, Jon Voight, our boy, rest in peace, Tom Sizemore, and Ted Levine. All balanced out by the GOAT, Tom Noonan.
Yeah, why we keep talking about Noonan on this podcast all the time?
Because the dude rules, man. Like, this is such a weird character for him, and it's just like it's so awesome.
I feel like it was unintentional too.
Yeah, it was completely unintentional. But dude, I was thinking about this because I saw a video on all that Odyssey controversy that's going on. And of course, we're going to do our due diligence and go see it. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I saw a couple of reviews and it kind of makes sense, right? So this is very, very well done, this movie with this all-star cast. So you have this new all-star cast for a 2026 movie like The Odyssey. And dude, even in the trailers watching it, it did seem a little bit stale. Did it not come off that way to you?
For the Odyssey, I don't know if that's the right word or if I'm just totally nihilistic now that I don't care about anything.
Perhaps.
I'm somewhat biased, so it's hard to ask me that question. But what do you mean by stale?
I don't know. Not necessarily stale, but there's like 10 words in the trailer.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it's over the top. And you have, what's his name? Spider-Man. Tom
Holland, yeah.
Holland. He's like, my father. It just doesn't seem, I don't know, man. I guess I probably watched too many review videos.
They're going with the scenery
trailer
over substance.
I don't know, dude. I'm not holding out much hope in this cast. I mean, obviously there's a controversy about Elliot Page being Achilles, so there's all that drama, but it's just like, I don't know. They're seemingly, I can't give you another example, but any all-star cast these days seems to underwhelm. It might be the writing, because this movie, the writing is dominant.
Well, with the Odyssey, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. The book's already written.
Exactly. Literally. Yeah, just have to go from source material.
Right. I was looking up for the preparation of this podcast. I was looking up Heat 2, which is supposedly coming out.
Yeah. All-star cast.
An all-star cast. So someone was commenting how they're worried about the new movie being so star-studded. And then someone responded like, hey, buddy, did you ever see the cast of the original? Like, there's a bunch of big names attached to Heat 2. But you're right. Look at all the names in Heat 1. It's literally marketed back in the 90s, De Niro and Pacino on screen at the same time. For people who don't know, like in the 90s, Pacino and De Niro were your top actors.
Yes.
Your top gangster actors as well. Everyone, I know Pacino. He's in Scarface. Like,
hey, it's Pacino. It's the guy from The Thing.
But each were getting big movies during the 90s as well. They're at the height of their careers, pretty much.
But I don't think, we'll get into it, but I don't, they were two of the more underwhelming characters for me. I don't know how you feel.
In this movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way.
Sticking with that. Yeah.
If someone who wasn't an underwhelming character for me, Jon Voight's character of Nate, could we just touch upon that? Because we don't really talk, we're not going to really bring him up, but like his hair is just immaculate, looking insane in this movie.
And you know what, dude? His character doesn't have too many lines, but it's like a good thing. He's kind of like Mystique, but he's like a roll dog for Neil. And it's an awesome character. Yes. Yeah. Probably has like the least amount of screen time, but his character rules. But yes to the hair. His hair rules. It's awesome. First time watching this movie, do you recall?
Not really. I just have like a vague memory of watching it in the living room with my dad. Not much to say. I didn't really pick up on it until later when I was already like crazy about guns and stuff like that. I did watch it when it first came out. I don't remember it. I will mention this. I specifically remember the advertising for the movie, though, where they were going nuts about how it's Pacino and De Niro on screen together. It was such a big deal back then.
First time.
Right? Like, it was huge in the marketing.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, I mean, I was today years old when I saw this movie. I mean, you've told me a million times to watch it, and I know the whole lore behind it. But it's one of those where I've seen enough clips from it that I feel like, okay, I've seen this movie. Only to jump into it, and I texted Jim like, dude, this is a 3-hour movie. Not known. So, yeah, pleasantly surprised. But yes, this was a very, very good movie. It lived up to the hype, so, for me. But literally, me character, you got a nice, deep cast to choose from. Who you got?
I mean, I kind of identify with Neil the most because I don't know, like in my head, I've robbed 30 banks and gotten away with it. I've envisioned myself going down Bethlehem Pike and just robbing every bank. I've thought about it for 20 years. But
respect.
How about you?
Respect.
Let me guess.
I don't know, man. I'm going to go with Chris.
Yeah.
Because it's literally my name. And I don't know, this dude, his swag, man. He's got this drip, Val Kilmer, in this movie. And he's just kind of, I don't know, man, he's kind of the quiet character, but like gets shit done, which I can respect. And then he'll just get all liquored up, pass out on someone's floor. I'm apt to do that. So,
do you enjoy sports gambling?
Safe bet. I used to, no longer. Sports gambling is for the devil, people. Do not gamble. It's not good. Anyhow,
sponsored by DraftKings.
Yeah, right. So the story was inspired by the real life pursuit of a criminal named Neil McCauley by Chicago police detective Chuck Adamson in the 1960s. The two actually met for a cup of coffee in real life, which served as the inspiration for the movie's legendary diner scene. Were you aware of this?
Vaguely. Apparently this actually happened in real life, this diner scene, and like the dialogue in the real conversation was basically the same. It's impressive.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Are you familiar with the fact that Heat is a remake? And
no, did not know that.
Okay, so in 1989, Michael Mann made a made-for-TV movie called LA Takedown, and it's essentially the same movie. There's slight differences. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is on YouTube if you want to see it. It's called LA Takedown. It's a strange situation though, because it's like they give Michael Mann makes this movie, this basically low budget B movie version of Heat.
Yeah.
And then he just gets the opportunity to remake it with way more money and A-list actors.
Masterful.
Huh?
Yeah. And just make it masterful.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like I think we talked about this before in this podcast where someone has a concept and then they're able to actually flesh it out. That was Boiling Point.
Yeah.
The movie with Stephen Graham.
Mm-hmm.
And they just have this is their baby. They have this idea in their head. I know you got a couple scripts you want to flesh out, but yeah, it's cool when they get the opportunity. It's like you can just tell he had an exact direction that he wanted to take it, and it's masterfully written. So it's like, okay, yeah, it's nice to see them get the opportunity to actually do that.
It's kind of wild to watch though, because you can compare scenes to scenes. It's almost 1-to-1 in some of the scenes where the dialogue's basically the same, except in LA Takedown, it's these guys that are saying it that just aren't as good. There's some interesting actors in LA Takedown, like Michael Rooker's in it, Daniel Baldwin, but they're just not as good actors, and it's kind of just wild to watch because you're like, this is Heat, but it's not as good. This is weird.
Well, now that I've seen Heat, I definitely have to go back and check that out. So also, Mann insisted on 100% realism, opting not to use a single soundstage or green screen. The entire 107-day shoot took place over 60 actual locations throughout Los Angeles, including a tense sequence at LAX. My friend, this is movie making. Yeah. This is 107 days, 60 locations in the downtown of LA at the airport. Like, this is real movie making. This guy's like, I'm not using green screens, practical effects. I mean, we talk about this every week. People are probably bored of it, but this is why this gets over with me, at least. I mean, it's like a real movie.
Yeah, I've seen the DVD extras of another Michael Mann movie, Collateral, and he kind of talks about the same thing where they film at night in LA, and it's before they changed all the lights in LA, so that there are all these orange lights, and they don't exist anymore. But it's just, you get a much more authentic look to everything when you're just doing it for real in the city.
Yeah. The climactic downtown LA bank robbery sequence is widely considered one of the greatest action scenes ever filmed. The actors were trained by former British Special Air Services. Their weapon reloads and movements were so precise that the U.S. military at Fort Bragg used the footage for Special Forces training. Now, I did see a video on this where this like high-ranking official was like, Val Kilmer was god tier reload. Did you? I mean, you're the gun expert, so talk to me about this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty good. He just drops the mag, puts another one in, hits the bolt release real quick. But it's like, I've heard this so many times, and it's interesting to think about. It's one of those things where I was like, is this real, or is this some kind of internet mythology that came up? But I guess it's real.
Well, even when he's like, taking his gun and turning to this other side, like he lifts it up and turns it over. His movements do seem pretty, I'm not like Special Forces or anything, but
Special Forces.
Fluid. I'm not special classes. It seems fluid. Was it not?
Yeah, no, it's pretty legit. Plus, they're doing things like just spraying bullets in order to move. Like they're putting all these bullets downrange so that all the cops that are down there have to take cover, and then one guy moves, and then the other guy starts spraying bullets, and then the other guy moves so they can,
That's it's choreographed very well, and you can tell these guys kind of train for this shit, so they're covering each other's backs. Like, now you move up,
right?
It's again good writing where you consider that kind of thing, because the audience is gonna be like, all right, how do you take on 70 cops, right, from all directions? Well, they have this whole movement down to a science, so it makes it believable. It's just that little touch, just you get a little shred of, what do you call it? So instead of dubbing the gunshots in post-production, Mann strategically placed microphones around Los Angeles to capture live, deafening audio of blank rounds firing between the buildings. So I read this and I'm like, okay, this is somewhat of a risk because you don't know how the audio is really going to turn out. Now, mind you could do it post-production if it comes out like shit, but this is mad respect for this, because it comes off in the movie. You can definitely hear the difference between, I think, the live sound versus, things that are in post that just punch in, like booming kind of sounds that are like mastered. So just this is the complete dedication. Lighting, sound, sets, like, respect.
Well,
This is what I nerd out in, man.
Gunshots are so much friggin' louder than people think. They see this stuff on a movie. It's like your ears would be like really blown out, and that's what you want it to sound like, and that's what they accomplished because of all the buildings on each side. It gets all the echoes of all the sound just in this echo chamber, right?
Yeah,
way more realistic and scary sounding, and that's kind of what you want. So I feel like scary sounding is good.
Yeah.
You want some kind of fit atmosphere where everyone's terrified of what's going on, except the guys that are leading the getaway, right? They're shooting the guns, kind of pushing the pace against all these cops, being offensive.
Which is kind of wild, because you think about this actually happening in downtown LA, and just people probably be like, what in the hell is going on? But then again, I guess it probably wouldn't be any much different than what they hear day-to-day basis. So, but yeah, let's jump into these Keynote scenes. Got a lot to cover here. The opening, for me, absolutely epic. Val Kilmer, as I mentioned, with this 90s oversized t-shirt tucked into his Wrangler jeans, no belt, of course. He's got a tape measure clipped on the back, if you noticed. And he's got a ponytail, chain wallet. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is going to be the guy. This is my guy right here.
Can you rock this look in 2026? Would you feel comfortable with that?
If I could grow my hair into a ponytail, I'd rock this look yesterday. Yes. I'm going to start tucking. Dude, this is the thing, man. All these, apparently the new style, I don't know if you're aware of this, maybe not, but the new style is to wear baggy pants, but like a newer kind of Zoomer version, I guess. But they're like Genkos, effectively. But they're like the twin cannon Genkos, where they just go straight down. So it's like the new thing, oversized clothes. And I'm like, bro, forget that. Let's rock Wranglers, oversized 90s, like graphic t-shirts tucked in. That's the way to go. That's the real look.
Are you like keeping up appearances because you're still getting work doing acting?
No, I'm not keeping up with the style. I just have my Unk style, which is kind of what I've been rocking since, like, I don't know, late 2000s into like 2010s, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just wear like plain colored tees, right? That's kind of just what I rock is.
Well, what about like what's stopping you from growing basically a mullet right now?
Oh, nothing. The fact that my hair can't grow it just like poofs out instead of like going straight down in the back.
Yeah.
But if I was able to, I would dye my hair, bro. I would just rock this exact look.
Like, Doug, you literally could just grow a mullet out and dye your hair blonde and be David from the Lost Boys. This is all occurring to me right now, mid podcast.
Get some contacts. Get some contacts in, yeah. So you have this crazy opening scene, all practical effects. And right away, I'm like, okay, this is going to be good. Like, they take out this truck, right? The bread truck, and it just blasts it onto its side.
Yeah.
And it's just, dude, spared no expense on it. Looked super, super good. But it made me think, I'm like, I know we've talked about this on multiple episodes before because we're always talking about bank robberies, but it's like, you can't get away with this. They're just down the street parking the ambulance and about to torch it, and they just take their masks off. You can't get away with that nowadays because there's CCTV everywhere. So you just can't be a bank robber in 2026. It's not possible.
Yeah,
Successfully.
I mean, I was actually thinking about that. I'm like, how would I go about kind of just actually getting away with it? And you'd have to employ some insane technology. I don't know if it's even really that insane, but like, how possible would it be to just destroy the power of like a whole town just to rob a bank? Like, imagine for a second you take out Transformers in like a 10-block radius before you go to rob the bank.
That would be that'd be the only way you could do it.
I don't know
the power. Everything's electronic.
Yeah, because the way
Send
to
off
get away,
EMP.
it's, you could do, you could do that too. But like the problem though is getting away where there's CCTV cameras, like away where you think you're already getting away with it, but they're tracking you so far that you have to employ some kind of power outage on like a 10-block radius and escape in that 10 blocks. Like, that's the only way I can think of. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Not very doable.
Don't take my advice.
Not achievable in 2026. I'm telling you right now. Can't do it.
I mean, the first scene though, I would say is the most interesting character in this movie, Waingro. It starts with Waingro just coming out of this restaurant, and he yells at this guy behind a counter, like, "Hey, give me a refill.
I need another refill."
Like, he turns around and he puts these most insane sunglasses on.
Oh yeah, dude, those are sick.
All the characters in this movie are these serious characters, right? Working one side of the law or the other. What is Waingro's deal exactly? What I want a Waingro prequel. What led to this guy being this weird psycho?
A prequel would actually rule, but I think a appropriate prequel would be just him walking around day to day and just like his random tics and stuff. Just following him and what he does on a daily basis, not doing crazy shit like robbing banks, would probably be a really cool prequel because it just tells what's going on in this guy's mind, if anything.
Well, I mean, he seems like a tough guy. He seems like a wannabe tough guy where 90% of the people he could convince of that, but then he gets in this crew and he encounters actual tough guys.
He's the beta male.
He gets mogged in this crew almost immediately.
Yeah, 100%. But they're all pretty thick as thieves anyway, so they've been rolling together for a while. But what struck me was the name Waingro. And I'm thinking to myself, here we are, 90s characters. I wasn't inspired by Vincent or Neil, but then you have this banker dude, right, who's laundering money, Van Zant, the Z. Like, it fits that dude. I can't remember, what's that actor's name that plays Van Zant? He's in a ton of stuff. He's in Armageddon. He's that guy in that thing. He's never the lead role. But dude, that guy rules. I love that guy.
William Fichtner. Fichtner? I'm not really sure how to pronounce that.
Yes. I looked it up. Yeah. That dude, he's always, again, secondary character, the guy in that thing, but he plays his character. Van Zant. Perfectly.
Van Zant. What are we going to name this guy?
The slimy banker. Hey, he's the slimy banker. But yeah, so again, a masterclass of names. They just go Trejo for Danny Trejo, which is awesome. Like, yeah, we'll just go with the actor's last name. Just call him Trejo. Kind of rolls.
Dude, your name is so awesome. Like, we can't even come up with anything that's better than that.
We'll go with it.
The gang, they meet in a diner of all places in order to distribute the money. Like, what? Waingro says, "Look, I had to get it on, man. He was making a move. I had to get it on." Like, and Neil just grabs his head and slams it on the table.
Awesome scene.
Somehow only one guy notices Neil.
Yeah.
slamming Waingro's head right that. And it's like Michael gives this guy this look that's like, stay in your lane, buddy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy just goes back to reading the paper. Like, for a crew that has all the angles figured out, though, like, why did they meet in a diner? Could have gone wrong.
This is,
so many ways.
You know, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, every movie from the 90s is like, we have to have a diner scene, non-negotiable. This is the only option we have. They're going to split the money in the diner. Done.
But they take him out into the parking lot, and Trejo opens the trunk, and he's got plastic bags lined on the trunk. So that was his plan, was to take him in the parking lot and shoot him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what kind of plan was that? Didn't you think yeah, sure. They didn't see you slamming this dude's head on the table, but they put 2 and 2 together when they start hearing gunshots outside.
Silence.
Like, I think they're going to they could probably identify who did it to the cops when someone calls the cops. Anywho, what a strange scene, I thought.
Well, if you have a silencer, I mean, you take him out, seemingly there's no CCTV.
But he didn't have a silencer. He just whipped out his gun.
You never know.
Was like, all right, I'm going to shoot this dude in the head.
Well, yeah, it's a good point, though. That's like, yeah, they have everything figured out to a T. Very detail-oriented, and they're just going to, like, dome this guy in the parking lot of a diner downtown LA.
It seemed, yeah, and Waingro just escapes by disappearing. Like, incredible.
Disappearing act.
Even as a kid, I was like, that seems unlikely. He didn't notice this dude just zip away.
No.
He's just gone. Anywho. So it cuts to Neil going in his house, puts his gun and keys on the table, and goes to the windows to look out over the ocean. And I'm like, you want to know what Keynote is, ladies and gentlemen? It's this shot.
Yeah.
This is supposedly based on a painting called Pacific by Alex Colville. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's basically a painting of the same exact shot, right? Yeah, of like a guy like looking out over the ocean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is early AM. You're getting home right before the sun starts coming up. So you're getting this blue glow emanating from outside, right? Reminiscent of Will Graham's house in Manhunter. Another.
I was actually just going to say that. I was just going to say that. Yeah. The opening scene, or not opening scene, but yeah, I remember specifically. They have like they're laying in bed and it looks over. I'm like, holy shit, is that the blue hues in this is like so like egregious, but yeah, it scaled back considerably in this shot, but it's a cool shot. I mean, nonetheless, I would definitely live in this house, no question about that. But it cuts over to Chris, and he's getting in an argument with his wife, right? And I'm thinking to myself, why is this dude like? Because he rolls up, and they're happy to see each other. He jumps on her, he's like kissing her and stuff, and almost immediately they get into a fight, and then he just pops off and just leaves in his car. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, you are the Max Chad. Why are you sweating this broad? What's going on here?
Are you saying that Ashley Judd isn't 10 out of 10?
I guess in this movie.
Talk to me, King.
She's pretty. I don't know, man. She's not a 10 out of 10.
Well, I mean,
she's an 8 out of 10. I think that what's her face is hotter.
Who's that?
Edie, the chick.
Oh yeah,
right hair. Yeah.
That.
I think she's hotter in this movie, but that's me. So, but yeah, I'm wondering to myself, like, what's going on here? What's going on with this relationship? Kind of seemingly unhinged, and then finding out they have a kid together. Just real dicey right from the get.
I think she's giving him shit about sports gambling too, and he's like, "All right, 95. Are you going to get in the car or not?"
Many such cases in 2026.
Shit. How many relationships has sports gambling ruined in the last couple of years because they legalized gambling on people's phones, and now it's like, why even watch a game without gambling on it?
Yeah, it's sickening.
What's that? You're watching the big game this weekend? What's your parlay?
Hey man, I got a 3-leg parlay on it, bud. Okay, I'm gonna hit this one. I'm gonna hit big, dude. I'm gonna make up for that $30,000
13-leg parlay.
Dude, we had this guy that we used to work with, and you might know who I'm talking about. And every day he rolls back, he's like, "Bro, yo, check this ticket out, bro. This is the winner right here." I'm like, "Oh, 15 legs? Yeah, but look, you put $1 on it and it hits all 15. Bro, I'm in the money. I made all my money back." And I'm like, okay, small risk, very, very small likelihood of it hitting. And sure enough, he comes back the next day. He's like, dude, I had it, bro. I had 14 out of 15, and they just screwed me on this last one. I'm like, dude, they're out to get you, man. They literally threw the game because they knew your dollar bet was going to hit for 400. Like, it's just so degenerate, bro. Gambling, so bad. They just need to ban it, but it'll never happen.
So Neil is in a bookstore getting a book on metals, of all things, then goes to dinner, and the woman sitting next to him starts asking about his book and what work he does. And at first he's suspicious of her, and then realizes she's kind of coming on to him. It's just like, this is where I had this kind of epiphany, okay? The dialogue in this scene is a little cheese to me.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, like I dig Michael Mann movies, but then it made me think of all these other movies and how there'll be points in Michael Mann movies where I'm like, does anyone really fucking talk like that?
No.
Does anyone talk like that? I don't know how to explain it. It's like he's trying to mix acting cool and serious at the same time. And you're like, that's a little bit much, dude.
Maybe this was a 90s vibe, bro. 1995. Maybe that's how people talked. They didn't have smartphones.
That's a interesting thought. Maybe. But then I thought about Collateral. There's certain lines in Collateral where I am somewhat suspicious of what's going on in Mann's head when he wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
The character will say something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, excuse me? Like what? He says like that. I'm like, I don't know what that means. And he says it in Collateral and Miami Vice, the movie. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I've never heard anyone talk like this. And they approach that level in this movie.
Yeah. I feel that. I can feel that. So the fact that this chick starts rapping to him and he just immediately gets defensive because seemingly he just doesn't want to talk to anyone. Does this remind you of anyone? You know?
Me?
That's what I was going for. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's just some kind of normal Starbucks/bar interaction with you.
Well, yeah, sure. But then I just assumed that, the CIA sent this woman to infiltrate my mind.
They're on to you. But this is what I was talking about. I think her name's Edie or whatever. I think she's hotter than what's his name's wife. I think so.
She's your type.
She got this look about her, played by Amy Brenneman.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, she's a graphic design chick. She's just kind of free spirited, living in LA. Hey. And then sure enough, you have 52-year-old De Niro. This to me was the most egregious thing in the whole movie, is the fact that this dude is 52 in this movie and she's 31. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm buying the love story between Chris and I can't remember her name. I'm not buying 52-year-old De Niro pulling this chick who's smitten over him. Because he, like you said,
really?
he's not saying the right things. He's a little bit of a badass, sure. But bro, the appeal cannot be there for some 31-year-old single chick in LA. It's not happening.
Well,
without a kid.
Are you just saying it's because what about Brad Pitt at 52?
Well, it might be a little bit, I don't know. I don't know, man. He's what now, like 60 some?
Yeah, like Brad Pitt
Probably
doesn't age really. I think Brad Pitt can pull it off 100%.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. But De Niro, they didn't have the Hollywood cocktail really dialed in the 90s. So when he's at 52, he's starting to look 52.
Yes.
So I could kind of see what you're saying. But it's funny you bring this up because I was thinking of something along the similar lines was when I just, after I watched Heat, I just started watching LA Takedown again.
Nice.
Because I'm out of my mind. I don't know. So the actors in LA Takedown, though, are much younger.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it makes a little bit more sense because you're like, dude, De Niro, you're 52. Why do you care at this point in your life? You don't have a family or whatever. Like, it might be over for you at 52. So it's kind of easier to just walk away from a certain situation when you feel the heat. Right. But if it's a younger actor, it makes more sense that he's sacrificing more at that point. Like if De Niro was 30 at this point.
Yeah, I just don't know he's going to be pulling her, though. That's my point.
You're just not respecting De Niro's dick or stick game. Yeah.
But you make a good point in the terms of she could be smitten by him, and it just plays into his whole ability to walk away. She's the one that he can't walk away from, but eventually he does. But it is a good point. But it leads to this scene where they go out on the deck there and the balcony, and it overlooks the city. And I'm thinking to myself, this is probably the most insane. And he said that he didn't use green screen on this, as I brought up in the opening. But what is going on with this? The city lights in the background of this. This looks like a green screen. It's like flat. Did you catch that?
It was too red out that night.
Bro, it looked.
He needed more blue.
It stared me right in the face, and it happens throughout the rest of the movie. Whenever it's overlooking the city, very, very bizarre. I don't know. Just rubbed me the wrong way. Looked it up online.
Maybe it was the lighting of it. Maybe it was the mood, the lighting, because he seems to just really love blue in this movie.
Well, no, it looks flat. It looks like it's like a 2D video game, like background, like overlay. It just looks insane. Go back and watch it.
It looks like
it's so crazy looking. Anyhow, I'll get off that subject, but we then get introduced to our boy Tom Noonan, and he's just rocking this beard, right? And he's explaining this whole thing to Neil about this is how, you can, whatever the hell it is that he does to like catch transmissions or whatever. And it's like, he actually kills it, man. It's just such a small role, but he's, I don't know, man. I just love that dude. Awesome.
That's an insane. I didn't exactly understand what was going on, but I assume he's some kind of telecommunications expert, some kind of hacker, if you will. I don't know, even want to go that far, but he's somehow getting encrypted messages perhaps from banks, and he's able to break the encryption.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's enough of a good gig where he can charge people like Neil, let's say $100,000.
Yeah.
Just for the plans. This is kind of interesting. I talk about a prequel for Waingro. We need a prequel
exactly, dude.
Tom Noonan's character.
But that's the genius of it, man. Is they fold in all these like cool characters, and he just only has a couple minutes on screen, but definitely an interesting character. You're like, dude, I'd like to know more about that guy.
Right. Okay, so Neil calls Vincent to set up this meet in order to sell the bearer bonds back to him. Vincent sends a guy to kill Neil. Okay, they're meeting out in this drive-through theater during the day. This guy crawls up beside the car, but Chris is doing Overwatch and radios Neil. The guy with the money in the truck, he takes off, and Chris opens fire on him, and Michael just pulls out this shotgun and finishes the guy off. Michael Mann has this propensity to just really make gunfights look good. And that includes getting interesting weapons that more or less match the situation.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Chris is using an HK-91. It's kind of this random gun. But I'm saying that, but I don't know what was going on. I don't know the exact scene, what was going on in the 90s. Good choice situationally and stylistically for a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nowadays, you have so many more options. But back then, 308 semi-automatic rifle might not have been something you just pick up at your local gun store. I mean, it's a H&K, A point I'm making with this is that Michael Mann seems to, in all of his movies, has some kind of, dare I say it, gun autism. Where he really is thinking about, what gun would this guy have in this situation? I'm like, I can appreciate that. I think that's why a lot of gun people like Michael Mann as well.
Well, is that HK, is that a ranged gun? Because he does shoot this dude from 100 yards away, give or take.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And I imagine that it's like a semi-automatic sniper rifle that was used in the 90s before I started paying attention to the guns. Like right now, they came out in the global war on terror. There was this Mark 25, which is like a 308, like AR-10 sniper rifle. But this is before all that took place. It's like you got to understand, like the 90s was a different time. There was an assault weapons ban back then. There was all these weird guns.
Yeah.
And they showed up in movies. right?
Uzis and shit.
Like now, it's like every there's like 100 gun manufacturers that sell AR-15s.
Yeah. But
Back then, that wasn't the case.
I love the touch of having Michael have this shoddy pretty much the whole movie. But to your point, it's like perfect because the dude's rolling away and he just needs to blast him a couple times and he nails him.
Yeah.
So respect. But I did really, speaking of that scene, the abandoned movie, like drive-in thing was such a cool landscape to have. And it's like broad day. And then it plays even better because when he's going after him, he's about to hit this dude. He's like going over the lumps, right? And the ditches. And so like the car's like bouncing up and down. The guy can't get a good clean shot off. So very intentional, but played very well on camera. So awesome scene. Awesome, like perfect scene location for that, which was, I thought was pretty cool. So
yeah. So, okay, so this is something that blew me away. The scene cuts to a hotel where Waingro is, and he's just finishing having the sex with a prostitute. And he's getting to her to describe how good he was. And she says that he goes into that she's visiting with the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
And he kills her. And I'm like, wait a second, dude. Is Waingro a serial killer?
Perhaps.
Like, has it ever been adequately explained why this was in the movie? What did this add to the story? Why is this here?
It's a good point because they make him to be this like crazy dude, which you make a good point in terms of he should have a prequel, but he actually gets bitched down anytime he's around Neo. But it's his head smashed in or even his death scene. He's just kind of a bitch. So it is weird they're going to layer this character to be this seemingly serial killer, like real bad dude. And then he just gets like punked down.
Well, we already know that if they're setting him up so that they're trying to make him look like he's an unhinged psycho, we already know that because he killed the guy in the first heist scene. He shot the guard.
Right. But more importantly, he asked for a refill and never got it.
That's a great point. That's a fantastic point right there. That's what you said. How dare this guy.
Scumbag.
So, like, and then Hannah Vincent, he goes over to the murder scene where this prostitute is, and they mention that someone's been killing multiple prostitutes. If I do the DNA test, I'll bet it'll match up with the other ones, right? So they are establishing that this guy is a serial killer. But it's never really gone further into after this, though. You're like, why is this in the movie?
It is something completely random, and I didn't even think about that, but yes, it's adding character development where it's not really necessary. I agree with that.
I mean, we're talking about a 2 hours and 40 minutes this movie is, dude.
50.
Like, it's not, it's a long movie. Vincent goes to Las Vegas to meet the guy Chris' wife has been sleeping with. He gives him the lowdown that he'll be extradited to New Jersey for some cigarette smuggling operation, or he can work for the LAPD as an informant, right? And something that's always bothered me about this scene here is that at first Alan, played by Hank Azaria, is claiming ignorance. Then he starts complaining he should have never gotten involved with this woman, to which Vincent responds, because she's got a great ass. But the way his mouth works when he's saying it, it looks like he was about to say big ass, but changed his mind at the last second and said great ass. Go back and watch the scene and look at his mouth. He's about to say, he like moves his mouth like he's about to say B, and then he's like, great ass. And it kind of always throws me off.
I'll tell you what, man. I mentioned it earlier that I wasn't floored by his performance or by De Niro. And it just got me thinking, what if he felt slighted that he didn't get the nod for the bad guy since he's constantly playing the bad guy and he thought he should have been Neil and that De Niro should have been Vincent? Because
you think
he's trying his damnedest to come off as a seemingly bad guy, right? And this asshole detective kind of over the top. Now, I did read that he was supposed to be on cocaine legitimately as part of the character. They wrote that out, and then he just kept going with it. Full on Nick Cage style. Just went with it.
Yeah.
Which I respect. That being said, I don't like it, dude. It's over the top. I think that he could have played this character way more nuanced. It takes away, in my opinion, and again, just someone who just saw it, it takes away from it immensely for me. It's just way too over the top. Don't like it. Like, you could have had his whole character arc is, you know, he can't be in a relationship. He's been married multiple times, but he cares for the daughter, saves her life, and even agrees with his soon-to-be ex-wife that, you know, he's kind of a scumbag husband and he's married to the job. But you don't have to be this over the top. It just really takes it away from me. Sorry. Tell me what you think about that.
Well, I mean, I kind of agree with you. My thought process is that it takes away from some of its seriousness that may or may not be required for this character. I don't know. Maybe that's just the way the guy is, but the character, I mean. But you're thinking this is kind of a serious character, but he's just going around yelling crazy shit all the time.
It's too much.
In this coked up attitude. Like, is he really that serious?
But he does.
Or is he there for laughs?
He's not meant to do coke. So at that point, you got to ditch it. You got to pivot. You got to come up with something new. And I really do not like it. I will say, man, he still puts on a good performance, but I don't like it at all. Speaking of that, Justine describes him perfectly when you think about it, because she has this quote. She says, "You live among the remains of dead people. You read the terrain and then hunt them down as your prey. That's the only thing you're committed to. The rest is the mess you leave as you pass through," right? And this is just, in my opinion, super good writing, because this describes how many detectives in all these movies where, I got to go home. The job, it's flattened me out. Let me take a drink of some Jack Daniels. It's like, it's cliche, but it works. And but the way she explains it kind of illustrates it perfectly, from like True Detective or any 80s movie detective kind of thing, where, because he even mentions, he's like, "What, do you want me to come home and tell you that some meth head put their kid in a microwave because they were crying too loud?" So it's like, yeah, this job will beat you down. But the way that it's explained there, I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said about the fact that these guys are the same.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
The difference is that Vincent is pretending to have a normal life.
Yeah.
That's why he can never stay married, because he keeps pretending that, I'm going to have a family. I'm going to be normal. But he's not normal, dude. He's a detective that is throwing his intellectual vanity around in order to get these bad guys. And that's what he cares about most in life.
Which is cool, because they touch on that in the diner scene or the coffee scene, where he says, he's like, my life sucks. He just comes straight out with it when he's pressed by, because 9 out of 10 times you'll see if he's pressed by the bad guy, which is Niro in this case, he's just going to try to battle back and be like, well, you know, well. But he just straight out says, like, yeah, my life sucks. He's like, I've been married 3 times, you know, my kid hates me, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool though. But speaking of kid, Natalie Portman, is she just casted as the annoying teenager throughout the 90s with like every movie? She's so annoying.
It's very possible. The only movies I can think of is this,
Leon the Professional,
the Professional, and
there's another
first Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
but
something else.
You know, the thing is that we're talking earlier about why is Waingro being a serial killer in the movie. There's also like, why is this whole her suicide attempt, and why is she even in the movie?
Great question.
That's
great.
It doesn't even necessitate screen time. There's this whole side characterization of she's depressed. Her dad isn't there. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to do. They're trying to say like even Vincent, who's not present, is a better dad than this.
Yeah,
her actual
which is
dad
it's not. It doesn't help the fact when he's arguing with Justine. She's like, "Yeah, your job." It's never referencing the kid, because then the argument would be, "You're not a good dad to my kid, who's not your kid," right? So it just makes no sense whatsoever. It's not necessary for the disconnect between Vince and Justine. So it makes no sense whatsoever. You're right. Could have absolutely been omitted, in my opinion. So then Neil is getting a feel for if they all agree that they should do the bank job. And it gets to Michael. Neil says, dude, you're all set. You got a family, you got money stashed away, investments. He mentions bonds, and he's like, you could go straight. And then, like an absolute gamer, Michael says, and this, I believe this is a pretty popular quote, but he says, the action is the juice to me. Like, what an absolute gamer. I love it.
I think that's what a lot of this movie is about, is being a gamer. And what is a gamer? You're not living life necessarily just about money.
Mm-hmm.
You're also affirming life, doing high adrenaline type shit, like not necessarily robbing banks, but you get the idea. Vincent is a gamer.
Yes.
Because he's prioritizing doing what he does best in life.
Yeah.
Which is catching criminals. Neil is a gamer. What does he do best in life? He takes down scores. Michael, also a gamer. Why? Because he could walk away and live off of the dividends, right? But he's not just in it for money. He's a gamer, okay? Incredible lot. That's basically what I just said is encapsulated with him just saying the action is the juice.
Yeah. But even better, though, to add on to that, the next sequence, Vincent comes home and it makes sure to note that the dishes aren't done. They're in the sink. So he goes up to see Justine and she's getting ready to go out. And she, in so many words without saying anything, it's like, I'm going alone. You're not coming with me. So he goes back downstairs, looks at the dishes again, and there's a moment of, should I do these dishes? And he even like smacks the faucet. It's like, nah, bro. Vincent doesn't do dishes. He's got to get back out in the streets. And he just immediately walks back out the front door. I'm like, this guy, dedicated to the craft. Gotta love it.
So yeah, I mean, like, let's discuss this coffee scene for a second. Like, Vincent tracks down Neil on the highway in a helicopter, pulls him over, then asks him to buy him a coffee. So they go to this diner and have a discussion. Here we are discussing diners again. Incredible. The level of this scene was hyped, though, in the 90s, dog. Like, this is unbelievable. They were putting it on commercials like, everyone is going to cream their pants when they see this movie.
Yeah.
God damn it. Al Pacino and De Niro are in the same movie.
Yeah.
Heat. Rated R.
I don't know. It was kind of lackluster for me. Pretty quick scene. I was wowed by it, but.
Well, you got these gangster actors, dog. Godfather Part 2, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, this scene's about like pro cops, pro criminals of this level are very similar. These are both professionals, right? They're the same guy. And so they both like respect each other.
Yeah.
But in order to be the best at something, specifically, I don't know, taking down scores, Neil says it outright where he has to sacrifice his home life. So Vincent basically says the same thing, though. Like, my life is in shambles. And you realize he also has to sacrifice his life in order to be the best. And it's like, to be the best in anything, you might have to sacrifice everything else.
This is facts.
You might have to focus.
Yes.
You have to focus 100% on that to be the best. Who's the best?
I mean, the only thing I really took out of this scene was, again, watching it the first time, was this is like the current meme that's been going around where Pacino says he doesn't want to do something. De Niro's like, neither do I. And he says something else like, well, neither do I. I probably had like 5 of those from you when I opened up my Instagram, but that's like the only real takeaway. But like I said, it is cool that he was kind of, explains to him, yeah, my life's in shambles. He just gets on his level, which I think is a good, between the two characters. But they have this scene after that, though, in the diner. Pretty rad. So Trejo has too much heat, so he can't be the getaway driver. So they spot Breedan, the dude who's fresh out of jail, and he's now the grill master at this diner.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. They just happen to see him. But Neil rolls up, right to him. He's like, dude, we need a wheelman, but he needs to be today. And it's kind of a wild scene because he's like, he tells him, he's like, are you cool? And Breedan goes, yeah. And he's like, I need a decision now. So it's kind of rad how they shoot it because it's going back and forth to give each other this look, this super serious, like long look. And you're watching this guy make a decision for the rest of his life in a matter of seconds. Because he knows, he's like, I could fly by the straight and narrow. I got my girl, whatever. I got this shitty job, but whatever, I'm free. And he's just like, oh, screw it. I'm in. It's like, all right, we're probably not coming out of this thing, but you're breaking your parole either way.
Well, I guess you're supposed to feel bad that someone throws their whole life away or whatever. But isn't that the correct decision to make?
He's a gamer.
Like, otherwise, you're just working this shitty job for X amount of years while you're on probation. I mean, I didn't really understand what was going on. I guess that's the thing with probation. You can't really get a job, so you have to take the first thing that they give you. And you're kind of stuck there in this shitty position. And couldn't he just stay there and just get another job, though?
Not sure.
Eventually,
I've been in prison.
I'm not exactly sure how that works, but people aren't exactly willing to hire ex-cons, I guess.
Yeah.
But the correct decision is probably what he did, even though it wound up getting him killed. What's worse, getting killed while living life or slowly dying while working on a grill?
It's $1 million question. $1 million question. But anyway, so let's get to the bank heist shootout scene, talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of watching these movies, looking at the guns and what guns people use. Is like one thing that stands out to me is that Michael has a Galil arm rifle. So he took... so it's kind of weird. So he takes the stock off of the rifle for concealability. I don't know if you noticed this. It's like when he's walking around the bank.
I did see that.
A gun.
I saw it when he was leaving and getting
printing.
into the car. Yeah, I saw that in the car when he's about to get.
But like it's sticking out of the back of his suit jacket where there's clearly something on your shoulder, sir. And it's this. The reason it's interesting though is it's like this long barreled rifle because both Neil and Chris have a Colt, I think it's 733, which back then in the 90s, before all this kind of, they didn't have the M4 yet in the military. They didn't have the Mark 18, right? They just had these random like Colt models.
Right.
So the Colt model 733 is a short barreled rifle, 11.5-inch barrel. Why is that important? Because it's more concealable and it's probably the best gun to use in this situation. Yeah. You're in a enclosed area, right? You need something concealable, but the 5.56 rounds can punch through cops' armor. You're basically outgunning all the cops and everything. I don't know. This is the kind of weird shit that I look at, but I thought that Michael using this random gun, this Galil, always cracks me up because I'm like, Michael Mann probably was involved in like, this guy would have a Galil. I don't know why.
Well, that's what I was just about to say is maybe he's not comfortable with that other rifle. He's like, this is his gun.
Yeah.
A shotty and a Galil.
And you don't exactly know how they're getting these rifles because they're getting rid of the guns afterwards.
Yeah.
You don't know how they're getting. So you might be able to, in a situation where you can only take what you can get.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like that's the case, but
you can't.
It could be the case.
So many factors that you have to consider. Sure.
And so the music, though, in this scene is just unbelievable. It just starts where Neil is the camera cuts to Neil walking in this bank and they hit you with this music, this quick paced drum beats. And it gets you anticipating something big's about to go down. I love it. And it hits you with that music. They do the bank robbery, right? They're walking out into the car and then it just flips
pops off
where Chris starts opening fire.
Yeah, he sees the dudes coming up with the rifles. It's from there on, the whole sequence is just incredible. A lot of action, but again, the camera shots, the angles, the sound is just absolutely incredible. But I mentioned it before, masterclass from Val Kilmer. Then you have Michael pulling the scumbag move of using the child as a human shield. He's got his own kids, family man, right? And this dude's just going to grab this little girl. Absolutely, just vile. But I ask you, are you taking this shot if you're Vincent? I mean, he just like does this deep breath and just domes him. Are you risking it, taking that shot? Seems like a high risk reward shot.
You might have to because you're standing in his way, so he's probably going to pull his gun up and shoot you.
Good point.
So you kind of have to do that. That's a high stress situation though, because if you're off, you just don't a kid.
Yeah.
But
So
one thing I wanted to mention though is like I'm watching this back. I'm like, why did he even pick this kid up? It doesn't benefit him really at all. All he has to do is turn around and just open fire on that general area where the cops were coming from.
yeah, but
And
they're not going to shoot at him with the kid in hand, human shield.
I feel like it just makes you way more unwieldy because now you have this giant bag of cash on your back. You're carrying a kid in one arm, and then in your other arm, you had this rifle. And I'm like, I don't know how tactical this sounds exactly.
Not very tactical. That's why he's dead.
But it's probably
So,
more realistic, though.
Yeah. So after that, I think this is just great writing here. They have this alternative beef between Neil and Van Zant. And I think it's like a nice subplot because it's like, again, you mentioned things not having to be necessary for the movie per se, but you're about the 2-hour mark and the intensity like visibly picks up in this movie because he's on the run from Vincent, right? And then he's still bent on like setting the score with Van Zant. And then you have Waingro, who he's going to have to go after, right? And it's like potentially Vincent, if he runs into him, it's like he has all these, like, how are they going to accomplish that by the end? He's already on the run. He's got this tail and there's these other dudes who have slighted him. Is he going to go, like, it sets up for the last scene where is he going to go after Waingro? But I just thought that was a cool thing. They have these like little subplots in there. And he's like, he's that dedicated. He's going to follow through with all of it. Pretty cool.
And the stakes are higher because now he is a known factor. He's all over the 6 o'clock news, as he says, and any kind of movement he's doing could get him arrested. Yeah. So he has to kind of like really be dialed in if he wants to do this. Mm-hmm. So this next scene is just kind of captivated me. Vincent goes home, finds some dude, Ralph, slept with his wife. He's chilling on the couch, watching TV. Justine says, I have to demean myself with Ralph just to get closure with you. I'm like, dude, hey, lady, Ralph's sitting right there. He can hear you. Hello. Ralph is played by this heroic actor, Xander Berkeley.
Yeah.
And if this is kind of wild, though, Xander is the actor who plays Waingro in LA Takedown.
Wow. That's
it's like
kind of weird.
He's also John Connor's stepdad in Terminator 2. Incredible. Yeah. Todd.
Yep, you're right.
Another great role.
See that now? Yeah, it's kind of a weird saying. It's just kind of weird. That's all I'll say. The whole TV thing, he takes the TV out and he just kicks it out of his car when he sees the homeless people. What in God? There's just so many weird things where I'm like, this dude had something in his head that he wanted to write and it was intentional, but it didn't really, translate the camera for me as well, like that much. But one thing that I did take notice of, they're trying to set Chris up and get him. He goes back to see his wife. They're trying to set up and track down Neil. But am I crazy for just thinking that these dudes should just boogie out for like 6 months to a year until the heat dies down? For me, it just seems like the most logical plan. I'm like watching this, like, just leave, dude.
You're not crazy. And this is the blind spot in Neil's whole discipline that he talks about of not letting anyone get too close. Like, think about this for a second. He's ready to drop all ties to anyone, specifically girlfriends and wives, and bounce if the heat is too much, right? He's mentioning this throughout the movie. But he never considered just dropping his revenge plot.
You can pick that back up anytime, bro.
Anytime, yeah. This is his ego here. He has to finish this, his ego talking. And it's like, dude, you don't have to kill Waingro. He wants to kill Waingro.
Well, that's a good point, though. It's like, I personally, I think it's a better story if he lets Waingro go, because then you could add on to the mystery of, does he come back? Even if there is no sequel, it's like, okay, whatever happened, Waingro gets away. We don't know, right? It's a cool cliffhanger that you could always revisit later if you wanted to. But as seen in this scene, he's rolling down the highway. He like thinks about it. He's thinking about it. He's like, again, this guy's a gamer, and he's going to see it through. Like, there was never a doubt in my mind that he was going to pull off and go after him. Kind of wild, but I appreciate it. So last thing, I'll close it with this. You had this final standoff. For me, it's like super, the way it's choreographed, right? Neil emerges, and in my opinion, he should have seen Vincent dead center in his sights. Instead, you have Vincent coming out. His profile is to Neil. Not only that, but then he turns around, and you would think that he would have the lights from the runway in his face to blind him. But because he shows that there's a shadow, he quickly turns around, and it just comes on camera, and it just feels that Neil has all the time in the world to just shoot him and doesn't. Almost as egregious as he wanted to be shot and wanted it to end, which would be stupid as shit if it was that horrible ending. But I don't know, man. I just did not like the choreograph there. It just didn't play to me that it seemed to me that Neil had the upper hand. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, and it's like when I go back and watch, and I see what you're saying, but I always think about sometimes they cut movies where you don't know. It's not like taking place on a timeline. It's like you're getting one guy's perspective and the other guy's perspective, but it's actually happening at the same time. So it's a lot faster than you think. So maybe he has to clear that edge, but Hannah already sees his shadow. So as soon as he gets around the edge, he gets shot.
It didn't translate very well for me. That's all I'm saying. Didn't like it.
Great ending music, though, with the piano and the horns playing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yes, another incredibly Keynote shot with the wide frame shot of them holding hands with the airport lights in the background.
Very cool. Very cool.
Even though they're on both sides of the law, like, they have to do what they have to do here. They might not like
solidarity between bros.
Right. They have respect for each other as real gamers. Vincent sees in Neil the same guy, someone not able to have a normal life, being the best at what he does. And yeah, he just killed him. He just shot him and killed him. But he sees in this guy someone that he respects because Neil's one of the only people that can understand Vincent.
This is just a documentary about gamers, this movie. That's
what it is.
Nah, it's a good one, though. This movie's good.
What's your Keynote rating, sir?
I would go 8.8 for me. Okay. Certified Keynote in my book. Goes without saying, the acting is top tier. And like I said, man, I don't even think the two lead roles were the best characters, but sometimes we get hung up on that. And I can respect that. And the writing, though, like I said, was at the beginning, it's just, there's these nice little touches. And like I said, it might just be, this was his masterpiece. And this, like, he had a direct vision for this. And I just think he knocks it out of the park. But there's so many good details in the writing. The fact that he went full sound, practical effects, on location, hats off to him there. And then juggling a bunch of plot lines, which I thought was pretty cool. And they come together perfectly in the end. So yeah, 8.8, great movie. Yourself?
I think you're right. There's a ton of moving parts in this movie. And I think he puts it together perfectly, even though I don't know if a lot of it's even necessary, but it is blended perfectly. But yeah, I mean, I guess I give this movie a 9. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, though, because I love heists and guns, right? And it's right up my alley. Mm-hmm. But, like, I think everyone can get into this movie. I think everyone could.
It's an action movie.
Appreciate this movie and enjoy this movie. It has a good pace. It has, it has good dialogue, I guess, for normal people. But like, everyone can enjoy this movie. So even though I'm biased, I say it's a 9. I think everyone, at least say it's an 8. There you go.
Yeah, folks, if you haven't seen it, check out Heat with the sequel coming up probably 2 years from now. But yeah, this is a good one. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Appreciate you listening. Give us a like and subscribe. Share the content, please, if you enjoy it. And what do we got next week, my friend?
We had this movie, Chef.
Oh, yeah.
Starring Jon Favreau.
This is my movie right here, baby. This is the movie that I can just have on. I can watch anytime, and I'll sit through and watch the entire thing. But we'll get into that next week. Until then, catch you on the next one.